Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Gateway Pundit, and we're also going to be taking a look at a statement from Dominion Voting. Now, the article here was published on November 27th, the statement on November 26th. I just want to show how shady they are here. There's a lot going on here that I think if an investigation was done, how do I put this? It would probably, if the legacy media was legitimately reporting it, it caused such an uproar in this country that there would be no other option but for the fullest prosecution under the law, including the political and societal and business elites that were involved in something like this. They would have to be gone after, because there'd be no way of appeasing the mob, so to speak, when we're talking about the American people. Now, the title of the article here. Wow. Shifty Dominion uses a fact-check statement from CISA, a group that includes Dominion to prove its innocence on its own fact-check page, which they actually do the same thing here in their statement. It's kind of funny how they think they're going to get away with this. They're shuttering their offices in Canada. They're scrubbing employees off the internet. They're doing all this shady stuff, especially with like Coomer, the guy that basically was handling a lot of like security and code and stuff like that, especially with him saying how, oh, don't worry. He made sure Trump wasn't going to get elected with the Dominion machines, clearly. So, yeah. Earlier this month, CISA Director Chris Krebs rebuked President Trump's claims that votes were deleted and changed by voting machines and tabulation software. Yeah, Chris Krebs, a swamp creature, Microsoft, yeah. I really trust a guy from Microsoft. Microsoft can't even make a secure operating system. And we're supposed to trust a guy who worked there on creating the most secure election in history. Yeah. Sorry, not going to happen. As a Linux user, I know you're full of shit, dude, because I've seen what Windows has done. On the note of security with Microsoft, I've seen what they've done to straighten out security issues. So I'm not going to trust you. Sorry, just not happening, because this guy is a former Microsoft guy. There is no evidence of any voting system there's no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said in a statement released following the controversial election. Krebs was later fired by President Trump. Yeah, and he should have been. When he's claiming this, using Dominion, saying, oh, we're secure, when you can literally go out there and look, DEF CON, and I believe the hackers at South by Southwest did this too, but they were hacking voting machines from Dominion that are currently in use. And they were doing it in a matter of minutes. Chris Krebs forgot to mention that Dominion Voting Systems is part of the CISA group. So Dominion essentially shot down accusations of voter fraud using a statement that obscured their membership in a group that made this... Shut down accusations of voter fraud using a statement that obscured their membership in the group that made the statement. Exactly. This goes to show you, like, the banana republic mentality that's going on here. You have the people that are involved in securing the election, policing themselves, saying, oh, there's nothing to see here. With a Microsoft lackey, a guy who worked at Microsoft, who, for the life of them, couldn't truly make a secure operating system if their life depended on it. And we're supposed to trust all this. Now, Dominion is using the CISA statement to defend itself from accusations of lost, deleted, or switched votes. You gotta love this. They literally are the ones saying, oh, no votes were switched or anything like that. And then they're using them saying that as part of CISA to then defend themselves on supposedly this not happening. It's complete circular illogic. There's no logic to it, but it is definitely circular. This quote was taken from the Dominion webpage this morning. Number 2, vote deletion switching assertions are completely false. An unsubstantiated claim about the deletion of 2.7 million pro-Trump votes that was posted on the internet and spread on social media has been taken down and debunked by independent fact checkers. Authorized fact checkers, authoritative sources. Oh, whoop-de-freaking-do. The link above goes to an AP fact check article that uses CISA as evidence to debunk I think that's supposed to be a tall tale of deleted votes. But it says tall-tale. It's a tall tale. If the fact check article that AP uses the CISA statement to debunk in the fact check article, AP uses the CISA statement to debunk the claims of fraud. So you literally have the potential fraudster saying, "Oh no, there's no evidence of any fraud," and then the authoritative sources then going to that potential fraudster statement and using it to defend the potential fraudster. I say potential, but we all know, yeah. We all know with what Coomer said and all the things that the company's doing, scrubbing their footprint online, closing their offices in Canada to be like, "Oh no, we're an American company, eh?" Just all these really shady things that they're doing. Yeah, we're just supposed to believe this. I mean, in the fact check article, AP's using them to. This is stuff that you could go, I wish I was making this shit up. But we're at a point where you say that because it's like, this is something that's like too far-fetched to believe, just too out there, too whacked. But with what we've witnessed, you can't say that with something like this because it's just like, yeah, it happened. It happened. Yeah, Seriously. Again, Dominion is part of CISA, so Dominion is using its own statement to defend itself on their website fact check claim. If Dominion is this shady on the front page of its website, what else are they hiding? Yeah, exactly. Now let's look at their statement here, because once Sydney Powell released the Kraken was her statement, so we'll go with that. Once she released the Kraken, you got to love this one here. Their statement from November 26th in regards to her filing lawsuits in both Michigan and Georgia. She filed in 2 states. Now, they only want you to think, well, it's Georgia, yada, yada, yada. Like, they're seriously being completely shady and dishonest in this because they're like, it's just Georgia. It's actually both. It's kind of funny that they really think people are this stupid. And so anyway, let's get through this here. So, statement from Dominion on Sydney Powell's charges. While Dominion voting systems are not named as a defendant, on Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, Sydney Powell released what appears to be a very rough draft of a lawsuit against the Republican governor and Secretary of State of Georgia, alleging a bizarre election fraud conspiracy that, were it possible, would necessarily require the collaboration of thousands of participants, including state office holders, bipartisan local election officials, thousands of volunteer election day poll watchers, in thousands of locations across the state of Georgia, federal and state government technology testing agencies, private election service companies, and independent third auditors. This quite simply did not occur. This is complete bullshit. To pull this off, we can eliminate, if we're talking about the machines, you can literally eliminate everyone except for someone who can gain access to that machine, or to the system, we'll say. But it would be nice to have at least say, the governor or lieutenant governor involved, which she's made allegations that members of their family or they themselves received money to basically ram Dominion down the throats of the legislature and the residents of the state of Georgia. I mean, it's a little fishy when you get this election and all this, and yeah, they're cramming Dominion down the throats of the people of the state, just a little bit suspicious. Now, this idea that it would require an election fraud conspiracy that were possible would necessarily require the collaboration of thousands of participants. No, not true. You don't need to have some big elaborate conspiracy to pull this off. You have ill-trained ballot people, Okay, people counting the ballots, pulling them out, whatever, that don't know the rules. Or you just basically, it's like the idea of Roger Stone's jury, where they stacked it against him. All right, when you're picking your poll workers, your people that are going to be dealing with the ballots, just heavily slanted towards people that are Trump deranged or want Joe Biden or whatever. They're going to be more likely to turn a blind eye, especially when there's no oversight. When you're keeping poll workers out, when you're trying to count and say like Pennsylvania, Michigan, so forth. You can't trust what's going on with that. But looking at Michigan and Georgia here, we'll focus on Georgia because you want to focus on Georgia over at Dominion. So you'd say need the governor, Secretary of State, because they certify elections. Because if you don't have them in their pocket, which that's one of the people that she alleged with taking money from Dominion to cram this down the throats. I think I might have said the lieutenant governor, but it was Secretary of State. So you have them, okay? Those two, you might need some key people within the hierarchy of, those running the election itself. You don't need a lot of people because you're focusing on one area, Atlanta. So it's not like you need thousands of people. There's not thousands of people in the chain between the governor and the Secretary of State and Atlanta. It's not like you're doing the whole state. You're fixing one city. You maybe in Georgia would need tops 100 people to actually be on the in. Less than that in theory. It's the idea of the left hand doesn't need to know what the right hand's doing. So if you get some just Trump deranged, blue, vote blue, be true type people that don't look at the actual issues and just buy the BS from the legacy media, you have those people dealing with the ballots. They don't need to know that there's, on the grander scheme of things, a system where they're rigging things. They're going, oh, wow, all these votes for Joe Biden. We're going to get rid of evil Trump. We're going to get rid of evil Trump. So they don't even need to be in on the conspiracy. I just easily debunk that because all you need to do is just get people that are Trump deranged, people that hate Republicans, that have bought into the Kool-Aid, bought like a glass of the Kool-Aid, we'll say, from the little table that Rachel Madcow and Brian Stelter and Anderson Cooper and all these deranged people between MSNBC and CNN and all that, and even ABC and all them. They set up their little card table. They got their little Kool-Aid stand, and they're dishing out the Kool-Aid. And those people that are buying that Kool-Aid, you can sell this bullshit to them. You ain't going to sell it to me here. Because like I said, those Kool-Aid drinkers, they're going to be like, well, so what if I passed all these Biden signatures? So what if there was no looking at the signatures, of the person who cast the vote? So what? He won. The Kool-Aid drinkers will do stuff like that. And you can feed this to them and they'll buy it. But pretty much all of Trump supporters don't. All the people who voted Republican at this point, it's 95% of people that voted Republican voted for Trump, and pretty much all of Trump's supporters, yeah, they don't buy this shit. You've got almost pretty much half the electorate. You get rid of the fraudulent votes, you get over half the people who voted. Call them bullshit. But hey, whatever. And you were supposed to just trust them that this simply did not occur because we're saying it would take thousands of people. When you could probably pull this off, I bet you bare minimum 10 people. 20 tops. On the actual, no. Because the left hand, again, does not need to know what the right hand's doing. Yet you want to make it sound like, oh, it would take thousands of people. It didn't take thousands of people for fucking Kennedy's father and the mob to rig the election in Chicago with all those dead people. On the actual, no. Okay? You had a lot of people voting in their place, but they didn't give a shit. They didn't have actual details. They're just getting a paycheck. They're getting some cash put in their hand. They're getting their palm grease to play some dead person to go and vote. Give me a break. You people are ridiculous. You think you're going to sell this? Dominion Voting Systems is the gold standard for transparent and accountable voting equipment. Really? Then how come you will not let hackers and other, computer security experts near your voting machines? If you were the gold standard, you would have absolutely no problems with them. Oh, I don't know. Having access to one of your machines, seeing if they can gain, say, administrative privileges to it, or find a way to inject code or to, say, change votes or anything else. But you won't do that. They have to go and buy these machines off the internet, ones that are being used to show how vulnerable your shit is. And you freak out. You and what was it? Smart Tech, whatever the other one is there. I'm having a brain fart, but you've sent cease and desist letters to them because they're exposing how vulnerable your systems are. Gold standard, my ass. The allegations included in the draft complaint are baseless, senseless, physically impossible, and unsupported by any evidence whatsoever. We stand with the state and local elected officials and bipartisan election volunteers that this suit maliciously maligns. Oh, really? Huh? You know what I find funny? You say that, but yet you're only focusing on Georgia. Could it be because in Michigan, members of the state, on the note of the officials that certify, did not want to do it because it was shady as all friggin' hell in Wayne County? Is that why you left Michigan off when she also filed basically the same type of suit in Michigan? And you say that the claims are baseless, there's no evidence? Sworn affidavits. Those are considered evidence in a court of law. But yet you want to try to portray this. Oh, no, they're completely baseless, no evidence, nothing here to see. You are ridiculous. You people are seriously ridiculous if you think you're going to sell this. In Powell's error-filled document, she repeats a number of baseless allegations about Dominion voting systems, which she has made in public since election day. Well, first off, by saying error-filled, this is a focus on the fact of spelling errors and stuff like that, which when you take a Word document, put it through OCR software to put it into a PDF, you end up with like errors, and they didn't go through and check the PDF to correct it. But I'm guessing if you looked at the original, say Word, I'm assuming it's a Word document, not say like an open text document or an open document text, I should say, ODT, like for Open Office. Okay, assuming it's a Word document, I bet you if you looked at it, it wouldn't have those errors. And it's all spelling and stuff. And they're like, oh, all these errors. Like, oh, it's factually wrong. No, you're trying to conflate spelling because of OCR software with the actual content. You people are disgusting. You seriously get caught with your pants down. And you're going to try to do everything you can to run from this situation with them down at your ankles and think you're going to friggin' get away with it. You think you're going to get away scot-free. I'm hoping and I'm thinking you're not going to. The allegations about DVS most relevant to the election outcome in Georgia are that votes tallied on a Dominion vote tabulator were somehow manipulated on a statewide basis to elevate the count in favor of the Democratic presidential candidate. It is important to understand that this is not possible, not on a machine-by-machine basis, not by alleged hacking, not by manipulating software, and not by imagined ways of sending votes to overseas locations. But even if it were possible, if it would have been discovered in a statewide hand count of votes. Now, this is what's funny. They say hand count here, and then they go and they conflate the hand count with the audit and everything else. But the thing here, this actually wouldn't be that hard. And they try to conflate the voting machines with the tabulation machines. The tabulation machines are where you actually do have a lot more vulnerability because you can throw stacks in and count them more than once. And I love this. There's no evidence. But the same type of evidence that she's alleged with having sworn affidavits. Lynn Wood had the same type of stuff in his lawsuit, and he was successful with some of these allegations because there were sworn affidavits, evidence in a court of law. And this is complete, like, creating a narrative here that doesn't match what's actually been said type of thing. Excuse me. See, because this idea is saying that, well, the tabulators could somehow be manipulated on a statewide basis to elevate the count in favor of the Democratic presidential candidate. Those machines record their tallies on, like, USB keys, okay, on flash drives. You're saying that that data can't be manipulated? Because then they take that flash drive from the individual area, they then bring that to a central location, they plug them in, they pull the count off of them, and that's what they're going by. Telling me that can't be manipulated? Excuse me? There's a whole host of ways that can be manipulated. Hell, in New Hampshire, where I live, the Secretary of State and a convicted felon who was a coke trafficker, wow, my New Englander came out there, trafficker. Okay, coke trafficker, CEO of the company that was basically like a part of Diebold, maintaining the optical scanning voting machines here in New Hampshire. Clinton stooge, Secretary of State that we've had for decades, Clinton stooge, both Democrat Clinton stooges. During elections, he was going around to polling locations and changing out the memory cards. And literally, when they got caught, oh, that's not going to change the results of the election. Like, people are stupid. You think people are stupid. People in New Hampshire here did not buy it. They tried to pull it, saying, oh, no, it doesn't. People like, well, you know, I might be stupid and I might be wrong on that, but I don't want them going near the damn voting machines and changing out the memory cards. So a stop was put to it. You're telling me when that can happen and it's changed? I know that was changing the votes. This was a major scandal that Google is now scrubbing off the internet. YouTube is scrubbing all the videos about it off their platform because they don't want that out there. You used to be able to find the video of this stuff, reporting on this. You used to be able to find the articles on this real easy. Now, you got to do this like 65 degrees of separation to get linked to an article, to find something to get you even a little bit closer, and then a little bit closer. And if that can happen there, you're telling me this isn't going to happen with this situation? Get bent, buddy. Seriously. You can manipulate this stuff to benefit Joe Biden in every instance. It's been to benefit Joe Biden. You're going to tell me when you have a pattern of Joe Biden constantly getting benefit from this, you're going to tell me, oh, well, no, that can't happen. Oh, no, this is just some conspiracy theory that the things were made to benefit Joe. Oh, no. And you try to say it's not possible. You just expect people to accept this. It's when you're full of shit. Okay? And it's not only possible on a machine-to-machine basis, it's possible on a whole polling location because these things are at least networked to each other, if not connected through, hopefully at least a VPN, connected to central locations, which you then try to play down next, okay? So, you know, not by manipulating software. Really, you can't manipulate the software. Technically, with what you're saying, that's true because you actually designed in features that allow you to steal an election, and you called them actual fucking features. Oh, wow, we're actually up to R. I got 2 F words. Oh, no. I don't think this is actually going to qualify as a foul-mouthed news, though. I mean, this is ridiculous. These people, these people are so ridiculous. And she never alleged that you had servers overseas. There are companies, like in Germany, where they actually, you know, what was it, Spain? Actually, that's where it was. Spain and someplace else. It wasn't Germany, I don't think. Because Germany was the actual server that got seized. But Spain and someplace else where they actually tally votes. They take the data that the Dominion system's getting, it's tallied. These states have these contracts. And they're like, oh, no, that ain't happening. Because they go to, and it's not Imagine Ways of sending votes to overseas locations, but yet this was literally reported on. The companies like in Spain count the votes. And then they go, but even if it were possible, it would have been discovered in a statewide hand count of votes. Not true. Not true at all. Because it's real easy for these machines to spit out the paper ballots that they're going to go, oh, these things print out paper ballots. If you've got someone committing fraud, you're telling me you can't get these machines to spit out a bunch of ballots to match your fraud? Bullshit. You really think people are stupid? Dominion systems are secure as certified by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Okay, yeah, I'm really going to trust them, eh? In fact, all voting systems must provide assurance that they work accurately and reliably as intended under federal, U.S., EAC, and state certification and testing requirements. Oh, so it's basically like ISO 9000. You get to create your own standards, and then you get to basically make sure you adhere to them. Oh, God, the ISO 9000 of elections. I'm sorry, but I've had friends and family that have worked in quality assurance. And they've explained to me the whole ISO like system with their like ISO 9000, 9001, 9002, et cetera, so on and so forth. And basically the idea is this is how it was explained to me. And this is why I'm laughing so hard. If you say that you're going to, as part of your ISO plan, say that you're going to, like say you're building CRT style monitors. If you're going to say that you're going to put your monitor, okay, with the tube down. Okay, so the display area of the tube is down. You're okay to do that, even though it makes it so that you can damage the tube very easily. But if you realize this and change it and go against your ISO plan, that's when you get in trouble. This is what they're talking about. This is why I'm laughing so hard, because it's the ISO 9000 certification for friggin' elections. There should be no ISO 9000 self-policing type of shit with this. And Dominion's defending that. Well, we police ourselves. I mean, seriously. This is some stupid shit. Wow. They create their own standards. Further, Dominion source code is verified and secure. Really? Verified by who? You do not allow people like hackers and security experts, actual ones that, might actually know what they're talking about. You don't allow them access to it. It's completely closed source, and you do everything to make sure that your source code is inaccessible. Third-party test labs chosen by bipartisan U.S. EAC and accredited by National Institute of Standards and Technology perform complete source code reviews on every tabulation system that is federally certified in the U.S. So you've got mediocre fucking programmers who seriously don't know their asses from their elbow when it comes to eloquent code, when it comes to effective code, when it comes to writing good code. Auditing this shit. So you've got what? Some mid-level freaking bureaucrat auditing this? Why don't you let like experts, like, I don't know, security experts say from like the hacking community out there? Why don't you let them? I'm sure you could get some really good people from that to audit the code. Or better yet, open source it or put it under a license that where you completely control it. But people still have the ability to look at it that are security experts and find any flaws in it. You claim, it's secured. You've got bureaucrat like mediocre programmers going through this code and certifying it. I'm sorry. This is like the idea of a VA doctor. If you have a choice, okay, if you're a vet and you have a choice between, because you have insurance, going to the VA and getting it for free, or having your insurance cover it and maybe pay out of pocket, and it's something real serious, you're going to that friggin' hospital where the other doctor is. You ain't going to the Veterans Administration. It's the same applies here. This is ridiculous shit. We're supposed to trust these idiots that couldn't get a job in Silicon freaking Valley to audit this code. Guys that weren't good enough to get in at Facebook, Google, all these other companies. We're supposed to trust them. Okay. Most people who end up in those type of bureaucratic jobs, they can't cut it in the real world. And we're supposed to just rely on them. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Every vote from a Dominion device in Georgia is documented on an auditable paper trail and creates a verifiable paper ballot available for hand counting. The only paper trail is these ballots, which I just said. You're telling me that someone who is moving literally votes around can't spit out ballots to match the stuff that they just moved between candidates and stuff that you call a feature? Yeah, right. So what if they print ballots? If you've got someone sitting there going, okay, I'm going to change all these votes, you're telling me that your software can't print out matching ballots for it? Bullshit. This is ridiculous. In fact, the Georgia hand counts, independent audits, and machine tests have all repeatedly affirmed that the machine counts were accurate. No. You don't get to call this an audit. It wasn't an audit. It was just a quick recount, and they found 6,000 plus votes for Donald Trump, almost all of them exclusively. Don't even. Oh, there was an audit. No, there wasn't. See how sleazy and dishonest these people are? In addition, Powell makes a number of allegations that go beyond Dominion's role in Georgia's elections, which is only to provide the ballot tabulation systems. For the record, again, Dominion does not develop voter registration systems, poll books, signature verification software, or provide vote-by-mail printing. These parts of the voting process are instead supported by other companies and controlled by the state and local officials who run elections in hundreds of thousands of voting places across the country. She never alleged that you were involved in any of that. See, they don't expect people to have read or at least gone through, looking at what people have taken from it, read articles on it or watched videos on it. They don't expect that. She didn't allege these things. These assertions in Powell's filing are nonsensical and unsupported by any presentation of evidence. However, to respond to some of her specific assertions about Dominion. Now, this is what's funny. They conflate assertions she's made with ones that they're saying that she's made about them. It's pretty sleazy. Dominion was not founded by oligarchs and dictators. She never said that you were. She said that your company was founded by two Venezuelans. This has been documented and proven. Okay, founded by two Venezuelans who have ties to the former dead El Presidente that Maduro replaced. The communist shitbag that he's jealous and envious of and knows he's in the shadow of. Okay, and it was founded by them in Toronto, Canada. And now this is what I love. They were still based in Canada up until very, very recently, like right after the election when this shit came out. They still had their offices in Canada, open for business. They were basically running everything from there. Now all of a sudden, we swore up and down. We're a proud American company. Okay, so it's founded in Toronto, Canada, and it is now a proud, nonpartisan American company. Sure it is. Dominion has attested to its ownership under penalty of perjury to local, state, and federal agencies, including the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, which includes all U.S. national security agencies. Oh, and people have never, ever, ever lied on, these types of things. They've never lied when they've taken... under penalty of perjury before. You're a company. The company is the one committing perjury. No one's going to go to jail. You could lie through your goddamn teeth as the company, and nothing's going to happen. I mean, this is so sad that they think this shit's going to fly. Dominion is not and never has been owned by Smartmatic. She never alleged that. Neither has Smartmatic ever been a subsidiary of Dominion. She never, as the complaint asserts. No, she did not assert that. She asserted that there was a subsidiary of Smartmatic that Dominion purchased or vice versa. Come on now. Dominion is an entirely separate company. She does not dispute that. They do not collaborate in any way and have no affiliate relationship or financial ties. She didn't say that you did have financial ties. And you do actually collaborate. Your industry, you're both collaborating to push through having these voting machines and everything else. So to try to claim that you don't collaborate at all is complete and total horseshit. I mean, this is ridiculous. Dominion does not use Smartmatic. No kidding. There are the facts. These are all the facts verified on the public record as well in regulatory and legal filings. Well, you're alleging that she said things that she didn't say. Dominion has no ties to the Venezuelan government, nor any other foreign government, including China and Iran. See, this is, how do I put this? This is legal sleazebaggery English here. It's not exactly how I want to put it, but it fits. Because they're saying they have no ties to the Venezuelan government. There's nothing that says that it doesn't say that they don't have ties to Maduro personally, or someone in the government personally. Nothing about official government ties. If you're running a voting election fraud type situation, are your ties with another government? You know, if you're a company doing that, involved in that, do you think your ties to the government are going to be official or unofficial? Unofficial. So yeah, all right. So yeah, you know Maduro, but you're not going to say you have any government ties or any other foreign government. So, including China and Iran. Well, on the note of China, this is just like with the Clintons. They were Chinese businessmen when Bill was still president. Oh, they're just Chinese businessmen giving to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, they're just Chinese businessmen contributing to my campaign. You know, he's like, I did not take that money from a communist CCP member. He was just how do I put this? Chinese businessman. I mean, seriously. Same type of ploy here. I'm sure of it. Dominion has never participated in any elections in Venezuela and has no connection or relationship with the now deceased former Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez. Yet you were founded by two Venezuelans that had ties with him. Okay. Other companies have serviced elections in Venezuela, but Dominion is not one of them. Dominion does not have operations in Germany, including an office of the General Counsel. She never alleged that you did. The servers in Germany, okay, are not even part of Dominion. They are being looked at more like the idea of CIA manipulating with the election and stuff like that. Z. Okay, or they were where votes were being routed through some other which way. Nothing was ever alleged that you had any direct involvement with those servers themselves. Dominion voting systems are in fact auditable and are audited and tested regularly by multiple government agencies and independent third parties. All electronic devices used in the U.S. must be designed to be audited. Yes, but you won't let the actual people who would be capable of auditing your systems and making sure they're secure to have actual access to them. You don't allow hackers to have access to these systems. Okay, and this idea that you're claiming it's auditable, there are things called backdoors that you can put in by intentional design, all right, that allow for manipulation and things like that and be untraceable. Some of your features of your voting machines and your tabulation machines, where you can drag and drop votes, makes the situation ripe for fraud. And the thing is if you've got someone like Coomer, where his position was in the company, his position in regards, to the software, and his ability to basically write malicious code into it. Oh yeah, no problem. And you're not going to let that code be audited. You're not going to let some third party go through that code. You don't want those machines touched because you're afraid that there will be malicious code found. And I'm not saying it's from Coomer. I'm just saying whether you guys intentionally did it or whatever, there's going to be evidence on those machines. I mean, you're saying they're auditable, right? Dominion Systems does in fact include paper ballot backup to verify results. In fact, thousands of election officials in Georgia just completed the largest vote recount in American history using the paper ballot produced by Dominion devices. Okay, and again, you're telling me that someone who's manipulating votes with a voting machine can't have that damn thing spit out corresponding paper ballots? Bull freaking shit. I'm sure it would be easy to do something like that. You think people are stupid. Oh, well, it prints out a paper ballot. Can it print out 50? Can it print out 1,000? Can it print out 10,000? I mean, shit, you set up a line of these machines. Oh, we need ballots. We need ballots. If you're trying to rig it that way. All right. You can cover your tracks. Looks pretty easy from where I'm standing. I mean, I do have experience from, with tech and, computer programming and web design and IT. I mean, hell, I was doing that back in the days of the .com bubble. I think I might have a little bit of a clue what's going on here. Just a thought. I mean, these people are seriously fucking ridiculous. Oh, God. Dominion's system cannot be manipulated by a technician in the way Powell alleges. This has been confirmed by the government agencies that have certified Dominion equipment. So we're supposed to trust CISA. The same people, that the same group that they're a part of. We literally, we have to ignore our eyes. They're lying to us when we can watch people hack their machines in 5 minutes or less. Oh my God. They can't be manipulated, but someone can hack them in 5 minutes or less. Oish. Despite repeated counts and audits, there is no evidence of any kind that any voting system deleted, lost, or changed votes in Georgia or in any of the 28 states using Dominion devices. Certifications and audits have instead shown the accuracy, transparency, and reliability of Dominion systems. Again, easily defeated. You set up several of the machines and you change the votes and then get them to spit out ballots. Give me a break. Oh, no, that couldn't happen. Bullshit. The federal government agency that oversees U.S. election security verified that there is no evidence that the election was in any way compromised. In fact, they have called it the most secure election in American history. No, you said it was the most secure election in American history as part of CISA with this Krebs shipwreck. Give me a break. Holy sweet Jesus. They really think people are this stupid. Wow. You say there's nothing to see here and we're just supposed to believe you. Servers that run Dominion software are located in local election offices and data never leaves the control of the local election officials. Bullshit. Because the thing is these are all machines. So what you're saying is these are all connected to a central server? Which kind of defeats what you're saying, if that's the case. That's why I'm saying bullshit. Because if that's the case, that means they have to be connected, hopefully through a VPN, to that central server. Security risk. Oh, this is completely secure. Jesus. Never leaves the control of the election officials. Well, all in the same note, they're saying that she's alleging that election officials are literally taking what you call features and using them to manipulate the votes by dragging and dropping votes from, say, Trump to Biden. You don't address that, though, now, do you? Why? Because it's one of your actual features? There were no glitches with Dominion's voting software, and no unauthorized or last-minute software updates occurred. Wrong! There are sworn affidavits to this. Are you going to swear an affidavit on this? Because there's someone who did. Is anyone there going to swear to an affidavit on this? No, you're just going to put it out in a statement and claim it's not true. Okay, and this idea of there were no glitches, it's just human error. These glitches happen, and then they find a patsy, some person that they can just blame for this. Because they don't want anything to come back to this software for whatever reason. Could it be because it was used in part to try to steal an election? I wonder. You people are disgusting. Seriously. The spokesman that they sent on Fox looks like a chipmunk. Oh my God, that guy's a freaking sociopath. He's lying through his teeth, and you just look at the look on his face and you're like, wow, this guy has no soul. He has no conscience. You just like, seriously, he looks like a chipmunk, and those things are part of who he is. No soul, no conscience, complete scumbag. There were no data breaches of Dominion software by anyone, let alone rogue foreign actors. How the hell can they show proof of that? No, they just expect you to accept their claims of this. And this isn't exactly what Powell was alleging, but hey, whatever. Oh, let's address what she's saying, but we're not going to actually address her claims. Seriously, this is what they're doing. Oh my God, this is some funny shit, how sad and pathetic they are. We're going to address what she said in her filing. Even though this is not what she was talking about, we're still going to talk about it. Human error did occur in some counties, but were resolved quickly by county officials before the canvass process. Ha ha ha! Oh yes, it was human error. Votes are not processed outside the United States. Votes are counted and reported by county and state elections officials, not by Dominion or any other election technology company. Bullshit. There's a company in Spain that counts them for multiple states. But hey, whatever. Let's just ignore that. Nothing to see here. Believe Dominion. Election safeguards from testing and certification of voting systems to canvassing and auditing prevent malicious actors from tampering with the results. Bullshit. You actually got to do those things, and they're not being done. There's this quick rush to rubber stamp the fucking results. You say, well, these things stop it, but we're not doing them. You got a bullshit recount in Georgia. It was supposed to be an audit. Then there was like, oh shit. Yeah, the rhino governor and the other rhinos there in the state went, yeah, the people are pissed. And the governor actually called for an actual audit. But hey, fine, whatever. Let's let that actual audit play out and see what happens. Sydney Powell's wild and reckless allegations are not only demonstrably false, yet you didn't prove them false here. You just went, they're false, and we say so. Oh, yeah, and we're going to take CISA over there. Just ignore the fact that we're part of CISA. And over there, we also say so. Just listen to the fact that we say so. Because we say so, and we say so, and you're going to have to just listen to us because we say so. I mean, this is their mentality with this. But anyway, so just demonstrably false. They have led to stalking, bullshit, harassment. Oh, people calling you out? How can you be harassed when every one of your employees, okay, has scrubbed their presence off the internet? No one knows where they live. No one knows what their social medias are anymore because they got rid of social media. How can you be harassed? How can you be stalked? Okay. And how can you get death threats when there's no way to contact you? None whatsoever. Please do explain, because all of you have scrubbed your presence off the internet. So how the hell are you getting threatened? Because you don't have a Twitter to get threatened on. How are you being stalked when there's no presence of you online to build a I don't want to say file, but for lack of a better term, a file on you to figure out where the hell you live to friggin' stalk you? You people are ridiculous. You can't be death threatened. There's no way to death threat you because you've wiped your presences everywhere, so no one can get in touch with you online. They can't harass you, same reason they can't stalk you, because they can't figure out where the hell you live. You people are disgusting. This criminal activity has been duly reported to the appropriate law enforcement agencies, and we intend to hold Ms. Powell and those aiding and abetting her fraudulent actions accountable for any harm that may occur as a result. Really? Okay, well, you know what? If you actually did that and there were credible things, because you actually had presences online where they could do that, because I'm assuming, there's no presence around online anywhere for anyone to bother you. If this was credible, the legacy media would be eating this shit up. Put up or shut up. Show where your complaints are. Show where they're credible. You're on the run. You're scared. You're freaking out. This is damage control from Dominion. Anyway, yeah, I've covered this well enough. This is way longer than it should be. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.